So, now that Moses is dead and that Joshua is in charge, God just reassures Joshua that he has this in the bag and that he will never leave nor forsake him. Joshua then readies his men and sends in 2 spies into a city that they wish to conquer, named Jericho. The 2 spies get in and find refuge within the home of a prostitute named Rahab. For this act of kindness, they promise to spare her and her family once they have taken the city. They then escape and report back to Joshua. Israel is near the river Jordan, and they need to cross it. So when the priests who carry the Ark of the Covenant approach it, the river opens up and lets them pass. During this, Joshua sets up memorial stones because God commanded him to. After a while, they make camp at a place called Gilgal, and while there, a mysterious man approaches Joshua. Joshua gets ready to fight him, but the man reveals himself to be Michael, the archangel, and he brings news to Joshua that is most helpful. The news is if they want to take the city, the army needs to march around Jericho. And on the 7th day of marching, they will shout all together, and the walls will come down. So they do this, they march around the city, and on the 7th day, they march around it 7 times. They then all shout in unison, and the walls just break down. They go in and they take the city of Jericho, and Rahab is spared, her and her family, just as promised. After this, God sends Joshua and the army to take the city of Ai, spelled AI. They set up an ambush and destroy it successfully. After a while, envoys from a tribe called the Gibeonites make a treaty with Israel, and they pretend that they are coming away from a far land, but they pretend to be from far away so that Israel doesn't slaughter them like they've been doing to all the other tribes around the area. Israel, even though they see through their lies, they spare them anyways. After a while, 5 kings from the warrior tribe called the Amorites attack the Gibeonites. Joshua gets angry and attacks them successfully. And while they are butchering the Amorites, the sun starts to go down. Joshua does not want to lose them due to nightfall, so he makes a prayer for the sun to stand still so that Israel can finish slaughtering the Amalekites. And this prayer is granted, and they ultimately win. Israel then starts clearing the territory on the west and east of the Jordan River, and they destroy about 31 kings in total. So, after a while, Joshua is old now, and God tells him to start dividing the land between the tribes of Israel and, himself. He does this, and then Caleb approaches him, telling him that he was promised the mountain because he obeyed God fully, and God gives him Hebron so that the promise is fulfilled. The Bible goes into detail regarding who gets what land. Some territories the enemies were never fully driven out, like the Canaanites, which might be important later. But anyways, getting back to topic. So then Joshua summons all of Israel once the who gets what land is finally done. And he tells them, "Look, you have all seen the awesome things God has done for us, all the blessings he has bestowed upon us. He has given us our promised land and has helped us drive off our enemies. If we forsake God, all that we have worked for will be taken away from us. So this day we must choose to either worship God or worship the false idols of this land. For me and my house, we will serve the Lord. Who will you serve?" Israel responds that they too will serve the Lord God. Then after this, Joshua passes away, and thus his story ends.